What's up, everybody? Tom Pelissero here with noted quarterback cynic Judd Zulgad.
Guru.
Christian Ponder must be watching the videos here. He comes out. He showed you today.
People are definitely paying attention to what we say because they're getting picked up by NFL.com. Our quotes are Christian
We
Ponder.
appreciate that, Greg Rosenthal. Thank you.
Christian Ponder, by the way, looked far, far better today, I thought, than he did yesterday. So all those people who are excited on Twitter, who are upset at me for being Mr. Negative in the middle of June, let me assure you, I'm now back firmly on the Christian Ponder bandwagon after that performance at minicamp today. It was a sight to behold. I wish you all could have seen it.
Well, I can say this. He had the best stretches in practice that we've seen in the 5 or 6 open practices that they've had this spring.
You started this with the OTA talk.
Well, in the OTAs that we saw, he didn't perform at a particularly high level. I thought the way that he came out in this practice, the fact that they hit on a couple of deep balls, one of them to Stephen Burton down the field that you can find. I vined it. I'm vining now.
What's vining?
It's a stop motion video thing. Anyway, put that out there.
What happened to YouTube?
Hits another. Oh, that's old. That's old people stuff. Might as well have a typewriter. Jerome Simpson caught another deep ball from Christian Ponder. And the thing is, too, people talk about Christian Ponder's arm strength. It's not about arm strength. It's about confidently driving the football and not aiming the ball. Those are the patterns that he gets into. It does tend to be, for lack of a better word, a confidence thing. Stepping into your throws, knowing where to go with the football.
Yesterday.
And there's so many things that are interconnected with it in terms of the way that the footwork may play off of exactly how your reads are, where the pressure is, being able to step in and out of the pocket while also keeping your shoulders square and looking downfield and not merely breaking the pocket to run. Those are all things that Christian Ponder's been working at in the offseason here. One minicamp practice yesterday doesn't say that he's terrible, just any more than one good minicamp practice today says he's going to take a gigantic leap forward. But this is the guy that we saw today that coaches think that they have. It's the player that played against San Francisco and in the finale against Green Bay last year, not the headlit deer that we saw in Seattle.
Well, and I think in all fairness to the situation, all we have to go on is the resume. If Christian Ponder was a Pro Bowl quarterback and he had a bad minicamp practice, we wouldn't talk about it. We wouldn't even care about it. What we have to go...
We might talk about it.
Well,
not a lot going on.
We might, that's true. But the up and down nature of Christian Ponder is what we have to go on, right? Whether it's games, whether it's practices, whether it's training camp practices, whenever Christian Ponder is up and down, that's what we have to base on. We have the rookie season, which regressed. We have last season, which got off to a decent start and then really regressed and then got better. And so when he struggles in OTAs or he struggles in a practice here in June, it's not as if we're saying, oh my God, this is the end of the world. What we're saying is, where's the confidence at? Because to me, everything with Ponder is confidence. It's all based on confidence and how much he is thinking and how much he doesn't have to think. When Christian Ponder doesn't have to think, I think he's a pretty decent quarterback. When you can tell he's thinking, that's when, if I'm the Vikings, I get worried. And that's why we talk about how is he looking, because it actually is somewhat important.
What else jumped out at you on day 2 here at minicamp?
Ponder was number 1. It's so hard to tell for me personally in these practices. I thought the receivers, I thought Jerome Simpson actually made a nice catch on the deep ball. Burton made a nice catch, and Burton's a guy I have almost no faith in. So when he makes a catch, I actually pay attention to it. Jerome Simpson, I'll say this, your favorite guy, Jerome Simpson, looks, and he did this last offseason, so I'm hesitant to get excited about this, but he looks healthy.
Right, well, that's the whole key for him.
Well, and the problem was last season, once he was hurt, he was done. He was done. It changed his mood. It changed his attitude towards the team. It changed everything. When you watch Jerome Simpson out here now, I don't put too much stock in the fact he's having fun, because last year this time he was having fun. I put stock in the fact he looks healthy. And last year, during the course of the season, from that, the Tennessee game on, when he came back, he was never healthy. So that's a good thing. Defensively, I don't take a whole lot away from this yet. You have a lot of guys who still aren't on the field. Adrian Peterson on the offense, not on the field today. People say, why didn't he practice? He's resting, and I say, who cares? I say, you know what?
And it's not related to the surgery from what I was told, too. This is strictly just don't put a ton of off-season work on it.
And do you care? I mean, I could...
You didn't do anything last summer, and he turned out okay.
With a guy like Adrian Peterson, I could, you know what? Bring him on in whenever you want to. Bring him on in Detroit and have him play. I do not care. Defensively, though, I don't have a whole lot of a read on this team. The thing I'm most curious to see once they get to training camp, to me, linebackers, yes, but actually defensive backfield. I'm really curious to see how Josh Robinson does, if he's going to replace Winfield. Tom, to me, that's the biggest thing. I know the linebackers are a big deal. If they sign Bishop, that might help. But you are losing a guy in the slot who was, in my opinion, last season invaluable. I mean, he was incredibly valuable, and now you're replacing him with a guy who hasn't played in that slot. And to me, you don't just plug people into that. That's a specialty role where guys know what they're doing. This is a guy who's going to have to learn, and Josh Robinson, who's going to have to learn on the job. Really curious to see how that develops.
One thing I thought was very positive, and then we've seen it here the 2 days of minicamp and even back to OTAs, is Xavier Rhodes getting his hands on a lot of balls. Again, it's minicamp, guys aren't in pads. The way that they play their scheme and the amount of press coverage they intend to play, you can't really do that through minicamp. But watch the way that Xavier Rhodes moves on the field right now, how confidently confidently he plays the football. He's not giving up deep balls. He's batting down passes. He's not getting his hands on balls by taking chances and jumping routes. He's playing really disciplined football. I know that's been really encouraging for the coaching staff. I think Chris Cook has had a really strong spring too. And one other rookie note in this practice today, for the first time we saw it, Sharif Floyd in with the first team nickel defense alongside LaTroy Guyon, interior rushing. I think we'll see a lot of that combo this season.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
No.
The thing about Rhodes to me is this is why you draft a cornerback in the first round. This is why you quit doing what they were doing, which is trying to take guys seriously. Quit trying to take Marcus McCauley, Asher Allen in the third round and hope you get lucky.
And I think they got a bargain on him.
And but they drafted a first round talent, it looks like, at corner, and that he's going to start. Chris Cook's going to start. The only question is, can Chris Cook stay healthy, right? Mm-hmm. And the other question is, can Josh Robinson move inside? Who's going to play inside? Because you're in that nickel defense so much now. We talk about, it might not be that big a deal who plays the weak side linebacker because that guy's not on the field that much. Okay, so what's a big deal? What's a big deal is who plays inside in the nickel. That, to me, is going to be of huge importance because that could win or lose you games.
He's Judd. I'm Tom. Full Vikings coverage. And one more day of minicamp, 1500ESPN.com. We'll see you.